Only a few times in life have I experienced something like this. It's taken months of planning and an endless amount of vehicle preparation. It's the feeling of isolation and being surrounded by everything all at once. The feeling of being on the ragged edge of triumph and destruction, riding the wave of wonder. What will this expedition bring my way? What will I learn? Not only about myself, but my existence, my being. An experience like this tends to show us things about ourselves, and if we let it, we'll forever be better for it. I'm finally ready to step off. Welcome to my adventure. Welcome to WolfPac-Outdoors, the Pacific Crest Overland Route. California. Episode 1, Fresh Air. Proudly presented by Norworld Australia, the industry leader in building heavy-duty aluminum trays and canopies. When your adventure demands built to last, demand a Norworld. In part by 4-wheel campers. Live your adventure. And from viewers like you. Thank you for your continued support. This adventure starts just north of Dorris, California, in the Oregon wilderness, where I found camp late last night. Seeing as how I live in Northern California, I thought it was only fitting to start here and traverse south to the Mexico border. The Pacific Crest Overland Route is just over 2,300 miles in length and divided up into 3 major sections: California, Oregon, and Washington. California, being the largest of the 3, is just over 1,300 miles of varying terrain, from snow-covered mountains to the arid desert. This trail provides an opportunity to see the last remaining wild parts of California. With that many miles of off-road ahead, I had to ensure my 2018 Tundra TRD Sport, who I call Everest, was up for the challenge.
Nice. Whoa. Whoa. Holy mama.
During the preparation phase, I replaced all the fluids, including the diffs, engine, radiator, power steering, and transmission. Then I sent all 8 shocks to Tyler at ADS Racing Shocks and had them rebuilt and retuned. I also reached out to Matthew at MCM Fab and had him send me the much-needed secondary bypass shock kit for the front suspension. Even with my fully stocked 4-wheel camper Hawk flatbed, the suspension had finally reached a point of perfection. Rounding out the upgrade list was a new wind fairing from Prinsu Design and a complete set of off-road lights from Baja Design via Matthew at MCM Fab. And finally, a little later on in this adventure, I'll be stopping by the 4-wheel camper headquarters in Woodland to meet up with a few mates, Isaac and Shannon of Norworld Australia, who've flown in from Australia with a special little something for Everest. As I travel south, the views are large and magnificent. Mount Shasta is standing proud in the distance and showing me there still may be snow in the mountains. The first section is a total of 132.2 miles in length and will take me from the Oregon-California border to Fall River Mills.
Looks like we're finally making the right turn. So far, this is a beautiful place.
From the pace I was setting on the dirt road, I thought I'd get through this section quickly and with ease. Several weeks prior to starting, the weather was in the high 80s, with no sign of precipitation in the future. And then, over the final 7 days before departure, a rogue storm came through, dumping several feet of snow in the mountains. Little did I realize what was lying ahead of me. As I made my way into the Klamath National Forest, I was excited to see spring in full swing. But the opposite couldn't be more true. The weather hadn't yet changed the landscape from frozen to blooming. It was somewhere stuck in between, and only a few miles up the road, I hit my first major obstacle: snow. It all started around 6,200 feet in elevation and covered the trail for over the next 23 miles. At its deepest, the snow was nearly swallowing 8-foot tall road signs. and now with the daytime temperatures reaching mid-40s, it made this section a slippery, slushy, normally unpassable mess. Over the next 5.5 hours, I slowly and carefully traverse these 23 miles and meet a few friendly locals along the way. From my local knowledge of this area, it's an absolute beauty to see. From the Medicine Lake glass flow to the expansive trail system, there's a place for all who seek adventure. Seeing the glass flow this time just wasn't possible, but I know I'll be coming back soon once the snow is melted to share this magical place with my wife and kids. Not sure how much more up we have, but this might become quite tedious. Situations like this is when precise throttle control comes into play. Too much gas and you're going to dig a hole. Not enough, and you're going to stop. And then you're going to dig a hole. But here we are, stuck in the snow. I've got a few tips and tricks up my sleeve. So a couple of issues with the snow, it's really slushy. So once it gets compact, it's super slick and it's not really allowing me much traction. Well, this is part of that unexpected piece of the journey. The piece that really makes it. The challenges with success, challenges with learning lessons. This is perfect. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. All right, let's see if that works. Baby, almost there. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, we gotta climb more. Oh my gosh. And it looks like we got a long hill to go. Cool. What's this button? Let's keep trucking. When you have 7 cameras going all at the same time, you gotta get a little creative and
pressing buttons. I hardly had any slip at all. That was perfect. I'm concerned we may not even finish this first section today. Fuel's looking good. We're just under 3/4 right now. And we're only about 67 miles into it. And with this snow, I'm topping out at like 5 miles an hour. Just met up with some locals out here. Nice fellas. They're the ones who left all the tracks for us. And they gave me some intel. They said if I make it past this next half mile, then we'll be there. Right now the snow is a lot looser than before. So it's slushy and loose, which isn't really giving me any traction. Once I find the right throttle placement, we'll be good to go. And if I need to, I can always dump another 15 psi out of these tires. I ran them at 15 psi before on the beach. That's what we do, right? It's all part of the fun.
The following portion past the lake was going to be the toughest section yet. The final climb ended up being around 2.5 miles in length. I aired down even further to 20 psi and engaged both lockers. I wasn't playing around with this one.
Alright, both lockers are engaged. I'm going to use their tracks for as long as I can.
And the action didn't stop here. As I made my way up, I ended up making a critical mistake.
Lost the drone, hang on. Jerome, the drone, likes to play in trees. Let's figure out a way to get him out. Oh, there you are. Right there, you guys see him? Bing! There's a circle. You see the drone? Alright, so I've got a makeshift throw bag here. Let's see, I'm going to use a spark plug and my rope, but I always have extra rope. Let's throw this thing up there and see what we can get. Check it out, the guys are back. These are the dudes that gave me some info earlier. I had to make a throw bag because my drone's up in the tree. This one right here? Yeah, that's it. Alright, we're back at it. Got Jerome out of the tree, but as he fell, he hit the snow. So hopefully we can dry him out and get him to work.
Sailing wasn't smooth, but it was everything I had hoped for. It was an adventure. After getting through the snow, I had a short section of pavement before returning to my origins, the dirt. I was able to set a moderate pace, which led me through Julia Glover's Flat toward Timbered Crater Wilderness Study Area. After all was said and done, I made it into Fall River Mills as dusk began to settle in. This is near where I had originally planned to camp, but instead I only stopped for fuel before continuing onward. Seeing as how I had clouds in the sky and dusk on my side, it felt like the perfect time of day to forget my troubles and drive. Once again, I was back surrounded by nothing more than the wind in my hair and the sounds of nature. As nighttime settled in, I began to reflect on the day and the journey ahead as I set up camp for the night.
Well, I say cheers to another successful day.
Much was still to be done after I got my line in the water. I stayed up late into the night, downloading the day's footage.
Day 2. Well, I guess I'm getting started a little bit late this morning. It's nearing 8:30 now. This is daunting. This is really, really daunting. It all kind of started to accumulate last night. Some stress, some worry, but that's just all doubt trying to creep in, right? Yesterday was wild. To get through that 6 or 8 miles worth of trail, that was snow covered. Nearly back on schedule, back on track, as you know, towards the planned track. You know, if we don't quite hit a time hack somewhere, I'm okay with that. I think day 2, it's going to see us travel from 2 ponds toward Susanville, behind Mount Lassen. I think I might make a stop in Susanville. It's definitely the last stop between here and Lake Davis. Top off all my fuel and get to going, I guess. I know, day 2, and I already miss the family like crazy. You know, I've gone multiple weeks at a time, but never filming. I think the most consecutive film days that I've ever had is 4. So this is definitely stretching me. Let's get wheels rolling. That way we can finish this day up before it gets too dark and maybe catch a fish or 2 for dinner.
Shortly after departing camp and heading south, I reached the northernmost tip of the Dixie Fire Scar. Seeing this firsthand was tragic and mesmerizing. I felt like I should have been on this fire in 2021. But instead, I was at an officer's academy transitioning from firefighter to my new role as fire apparatus engineer. This just happens to be the second largest fire in California's history and burned 963,309 acres, or nearly the size of Delaware. Looking on the bright side, these Forest Service roads were in top shape from all the recent logging of the burnt trees. And I made quick work moving into Lassen National Forest, where I found snow once again. Today, the snow seemed easier to navigate, and only once did I need to stop and lock in for a low. Since I was making such great time, I was keen to try my hand at catching some lunch. Caribou Lake was nearby, and it was a short hop off the main trail for access. It was the perfect fit for a quick catch. Until
it looks like I got myself properly stuck. I was trying to climb this little hill section, and I wasn't in four-wheel drive. I attempted to roll back, and my rear passenger tire sunk in pretty deep. It looks like there's plenty of trees. We're gonna run the winch out, do that real quick, and get out of this mess. Because after I threw on the front locker and 4-low, we started to rock pretty hard. I feel like the front is pretty well on load right now, and yeah, check it out. Just in case you were wondering what the tip over angle is of a four-wheel camper flatbed Toyota Tundra set up exactly like my truck, well, I guess we haven't even reached it yet, but I'm gonna say that's pushing it. Quick adjustment here. That came out like a dream. Couldn't be happier with that. Well, we made it out just fine. So let's go see if we can't catch some lunch. I'm pretty hungry. Here, you hold this. There appears to be no interested parties today.
getting back to the trail, soon enough I found myself in similar snow conditions to the day before. But this time, with less snow on the road, it allowed me to have, well, you'll just have to check this out.
All right, I found something really fun. I wasn't necessarily going to record this portion of the trip. I was just going to time lapse it. But seeing as how much fun this is, well, I guess I just got to show you what's going on. I don't know, it's way too fun. Totally worth it, right? That was so much fun. I felt like a kid in a candy store. I was just picking up every piece of candy. Hey, I want to put that in my mouth. Nom, 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 nom.
By the time I reached Susanville to fuel up one last time before making the big push to Portola, I was nearly 70 miles from the previous night's camp. Gosh, saying it out loud now really doesn't give those miles enough credit. Seeing the backside of Lassen and trekking through the Lassen National Forest was amazing. I'm looking forward to making it back to that special little lake and finally catching me something to eat. But for now, I must keep pushing on as I'm attempting to camp somewhere near Rattlesnake Ravine. Making my way into the Diamond Mountains, the name didn't disappoint. And once I climbed up the ridge road, the views were incredible. I was able to see the vast and dangerous landscape that I had entered. The afternoon wind had picked up, and the trees were dancing, which is usually relaxing and could put me to sleep instantly. But this time was different. I had re-entered the Dixie Fire Scar, and fire-weakened trees were littering the edges of the road. In the distance, I even got to hear one crashing down. All these factors made me hyper-aware of my surroundings. I knew all it would take for these big old pines to let go and smash down would be a strong gust. I had to make quick work of any downed trees in the road, and only cleared them far enough for a vehicle to fit through. I knew spending more time removing the whole tree would have added a significant risk I wasn't willing to take. Within the Diamond Mountains, there's a unique place called Bear Valley, and something magical took place here. Something that felt like it was just for me. One of those incredible one-off moments that really made me feel part of something greater.
Oh, that's so crazy. I was just talking about not seeing any wildlife yet. Lo and behold, there goes a brown bear running across the road. That was so cool. Where are you at, brown bear? There he is. That was so cool. That was so cool. There he is. It's right there again. Let me see if I can't get his picture. Wouldn't be the worst idea I've ever had. That was awesome. Absolutely. That was so cool. He's probably thinking, what the hell are you doing out here, buddy? And I'm thinking, come over here, let me get your picture. Can't make this shit up. It's awesome. All right, let's get back to it. I wonder what else we'll see. I need a sticker. I stopped for bear encounters.
Directly after my encounter of the bear kind, I locked in four-wheel drive and dropped into Lone Rock, just as the sun was turning the sky gold. It was another dreamlike moment, and once again, I was feeling incredibly grateful and humbled to be here and experiencing this place.
My revised plan tonight is to call camp somewhere past Rattlesnake Ravine. It is 8:31. The sun is set, as you guys just watched, I'm sure. And now I'm going to try to make up some miles while I have the night on my side and the lights burning bright. Here we go.
After revising my revision to camp, I revised it again. Unfortunately for me, Rattlesnake Ravine was still within the Dixie fire scar. The trees were unstable and I was exhausted. But I couldn't find a proper clearing to bed down. With Lake Davis only another 32 miles away, I just decided to go for it. But with all the downed trees cluttering the back roads, it took me deep into the night before I was able to rest. By the time I'd reached camp, I was wiped out. I was completely zonked.
173 miles a day. That's great. Finally made it to our top secret location, right next to Lake Davis. All right, time to get everything back into the camper. I'm going to fall asleep quick tonight.
Join me next time as I complete Section 2, then attempt one of the most diverse sections of the Pacific Crest Overland Route. And by the end of this adventure, I'll be entwined in one of the most epic solo recoveries I have ever experienced. I'm Austin Head with WolfPac-Outdoors. Thank you for watching the Pacific Crest Overland Route. Episode 1, Fresh Air. I hope to see you on the trail. I'll holler at you later.